Welcome to your yoga practice today. I'm here with my friend's cat, Waffles. Thanks for joining us. We are in the island of Naxos in Greece. It's a really beautiful February day today, as you can see. We're going to have this practice today, and it's going to be more seated on the mat. I'm seated on blocks currently. And we'll move through neck, shoulders, a little bit of spines, a little bit of hips, hamstrings. We'll do a little bit of everything, okay? But what we're going to do is we're going to begin by checking in, and we want to check in with breath, and then check in with mental, physical, and emotional body, okay? Just so you know where your starting point is. Usually we just hop right into our practice, and it is just physical, and we neglect the part of the practice where we're trying to connect with ourselves and understand the truth deep within ourselves. So we're going to start by seated comfortably, and you could sit seated in easy pose sitting on blocks like I am. Apparently Waffles is going to want to sit with me too. We'll see how that goes. Or you can just sit on the ground, and if you feel that your knees are up because your hip flexors are tight, you can bring the blocks underneath your knees. I find that helpful. And if you don't like sitting in easy pose at all, then you could sit on your heels. And so we'll get started. I'm going to sit, I think, on both blocks. All right. So find your comfortable seat. Bring your palms down into maybe the center of the thighs, so your elbows kind of bend slightly, and you can feel this really nice openness in your chest. And then you'll lean back against the wall, like an imaginary wall behind you. So your shoulders are right over your sit bones. Bring the chin back a little bit, not down, but bring it back. And notice that your ears will then align over your shoulders, okay? So if you haven't closed your eyes already, close your eyes and just take a moment to take in the space around you. So there's space around you, and then you're honing in on the space right around your yoga mat. And then you'll welcome yourself to your practice. So just take a breath and literally welcome yourself. And then start to find your breath. So just start to find your breath. It doesn't have to be the deepest breath. So you just slowly, you're noticing where it is, and then you're noticing it getting a tiny bit deeper with each breath. You can bring in that warm ujjayi breath, that audible breath, that warm breath that you feel in your throat. And then continue with this breath. There's no rush. And you're going to check in with your physical body. So you'll just take a scan from your toes all the way to the top of your head. So just scan, notice if you're feeling any discomfort, any, not pain, definitely shouldn't be feeling pain, but any discomfort or in areas where it feels really good, or areas where you might feel a little bit of a ache or a vibration. Just take a few moments. And then just check in with your mental body. So without judging it, check in with mental. Notice if it's really full, if it's overwhelmed, or if it's quiet or rather empty. So just check in. Again, no judging. And then check in with your emotional body. Maybe a word comes to mind, or maybe, feeling or an image. Just kind of telling you where you are in your emotional space right this second. And now start to pay a little bit more attention to the breath. you can bring your left hand onto your belly and just start to breathe down as you inhale down into the belly, and then it'll move up to the ribs, and then it'll move up to the chest as you inhale. And as you exhale, you can let it go again from the chest, the ribs, and the belly. So as we breathe deeply into the belly, we allow the diaphragm to move a little bit more, allowing more oxygen into the lungs, and then more oxygen into the bloodstream, into the muscles, feeling a little bit less stiff. And we also are nourishing ourselves with our breath. So our breath is telling us, showing us, conveying a lot of information. So every breath, your intention can be whatever you need today. Nourishment, calm, peace, love, all of the above. And then slowly you can release the hand down. And we're just going to start some neck rolls. So again, nice tall spine, lean against the imaginary wall behind you, and then just drop your chin to the chest. And then to the left, slowly let your left ear hover on top of your shoulder so you're not looking down. And then with the mouth, keep the mouth closed as well. It'll protect the back of the neck. And then you'll slowly move looking up. And then slowly the right ear will hover on top of the right shoulder. And then you'll slowly move back down. And continue this way and just breathe, but let your breath take a natural rhythm. And relax any tension in your facial muscles. Kiss your shoulder blades together lightly, just so you find that brightness in the chest. And if you feel any sensitivity in the back of the neck, you are more than welcome just to do the half circles, just dropping from one shoulder and then chin to chest, and then you're on top of the other shoulder. So you can do half circles, whatever feels right. Slowly switch the direction. Check in with your posture again. And just keep breathing and nourishing yourself with your breath. And if you find a space a part of the neck or the shoulder that feels a little like it needs a little bit more attention, you can stay at that point and just breathe a little bit. Take like an extra breath there before you continue the circle. And then we'll come back into center. Okay? We're going to take the left hand and bring it to the side. Sometimes the fingers might not touch. If you're sitting on high blocks, then that's okay. You can just extend it and flex the hand. And we'll take the right ear to the right shoulder, and you'll take the right hand and gently guide the right ear closer to the shoulder. Now, if your hands are touching, your left hand's touching or extended, you can also just bring it behind the back. So turn the palm and bring it behind the back, okay? Check in with your posture again, leaning back a little bit. Soften the facial muscles. Really relax the shoulders down. And just breathe into your three parts. Notice that the breath is full on the inhale, and notice that on the exhale you're emptying completely. And slowly come back into center. I'm going to release the hands and bring the chin back again and just look to the left and really push all the way to the left as if you're going to turn your head 360. And then slowly look all the way to the right and really push it again. And then come back into center. We'll do the other side, of course. So you can extend the right arm out, fingers down, flexed, or behind the back. I like to start off with my arm out or fingers down first. Notice how I feel, and then drop the left ear to the left shoulder. And then if you want to, you could take the hand behind you. And again, you're checking right back in with the sound of the breath, 3-part breath, and just relaxing tension with every exhale. Every exhale is an opportunity to release. So you can release physically, emotionally, mentally. And remember, your breath is giving you information. So tune into that. Slowly come back into center. Release that, and then bring the chin back again and look all the way to the right and push it. Let your shoulders go back and down as well. And then all the way to the left and really push it. Okay, and then slowly come back into center. And we're going to take cat-cow pose. So you're going to come onto your hands and knees, tabletop pose. And you're going to spread the fingers super wide, and you really want to connect into the knuckles and the hands. Otherwise, you're putting all the weight on the wrists, and we don't want to do that, okay? So distribute the weight all through the fingers and the fingertips and the knuckles and the palm. And then your shoulders are right on top of your wrist. Your hips are right on top of your knees, so check that. Tops of the feet can be down, or you can bring your toes onto the mat too. Okay, we'll move into cat pose first. So you're going to push the ground away, bring the chin in to the chest, bring the tailbone in, and let the belly button rise to the sky. Now you're pushing down and forward with the hands. So there's some, resistance on the mat to the ground. So you're pushing down and forward with the hands and really rounding the upper back. So just breathe here for a moment. And then we'll switch and we'll move into cow pose. So now you're going to look a little bit forward. Your tailbone will go to the sky, right? So you're making a nice little curve with the lower back. And now the hands are pulling back isometrically towards your knees to really kind of fire that chest, sternum forward. Shoulder blades away and shoulders away. And you just want to make certain that you're not really crunching your neck and looking all the way forward. You can kind of bring the chin in a little bit and lengthen the neck. Just breathe here into the belly. And then we'll move breath and movement together in cat-cow. So take an inhale here in cow, maybe about a 4-count inhale. And then exhale in cat, maybe for 1, 2, 3, 4. Now inhale cow, 2, 3, 4, and exhale cat, 2, 3, 4, and do it again. And one more time. And then come back into center. We'll take puppy pose. So you keep your hips right over your knees, walk your hands forward. If your shoulders are tight, open up your arms a little bit. If they're not, the hands can be in the line of the shoulders. You'll bring your forehead down to the mat or maybe to a block. It just depends on how you're feeling today. And if we checked in physically, mentally, emotionally, then we know, so we'll take the necessary, modifications. Okay. So really send your tailbone and your hips back. And relax. Again, every exhale is this opportunity to release. So relax any tension every time you exhale. And then we'll slowly come back up. We're going to come into downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. So I like to come in it from plank pose because then I know exactly where my hands and my feet should be. Okay, so shoulders right over the wrists, nice long legs, and then you'll send your hips up. Okay, your feet are about hips width distance. I like to bend my knees slightly. And when you look at the hands, notice that the fingers are spread and you're pressing your index and your thumb down. Remember, you're protecting the wrists a little bit here too. Press forward with the hands, so then your hips lift higher and your chest comes back towards your legs. Relax the heels, they don't have to touch, but press into the base of the big toe. Sometimes this helps rotate your inner thighs, rotating them back towards the back wall or whatever's behind you. Slowly come down to the knees. Slowly, slowly, slowly. You're going to come standing now on your knees. Okay, they'll be about hips width distance. You're going to take your hands, turn the palms out, and then interlace the hands behind the back. Now, you don't have to squeeze the palms, but you can. You can have separated fingers. You can also, if you have a strap or like a scarf or a towel, you can grab, the strap or the scarf or the towel if your shoulders feel pretty tight. So just roll the shoulders back and imagine there's a string on your sternum pulling you up towards the sky. Okay? Shoulders press down. Your neck is free. Your face is soft. Just breathe into the 3 parts here. Don't rush. Take one more breath. And then slowly you can release it. Now you can stay standing or just sit on your heels. Okay? And just take a moment here. Okay, now we will lean a little bit forward, bring your hands onto the mat, and then take your right foot and bring it forward, okay? And you can grab it with your hand. So now the knee is right on top of the heel, okay? You can try and bring your back knee as far back as you can, if it feels okay on your front hip flexor. And then slowly just really feel your feet, your big toe, your little toe, the center of the heel, the top of the back foot, and then you can bring one hand onto the knee and the other, and you can push your torso back. Now this might be too much for you, you know how much I'm dipping, so you would just bring your knee a little bit more forward and have your hip over your knee, and then your front knee over your ankle, okay? And you'll kind of push the knee forward to just brighten and lift the chest. Now from here, we're going to take some eagle arms, okay? So what I like to do is touch all 10 fingers first. Really touch the fingertips forward together, and then push the shoulders down. And then as you inhale, you're going to open up your arms. I like to call this the big world hug, like you're going to hug the world. And then on your exhale, you bring the left arm underneath for eagle arms. Okay? If you've never done eagle arms before, there's 2 options. You can hug yourself. You can bring the backs of the hands and the arms together, or you can take the full version, okay? So the right elbow's kind of in the crease of the left elbow. And then you're going to squeeze the arms together. It's an active stretch. So squeeze the arms together, lift the elbows in line with the shoulders, press the hands a little bit forward, and really push the shoulders forward too. If you see that I'm doing that, I'm pushing them forward and leaning back a little. Soften the face and just breathe. Keep finding freedom in your neck. Now slowly you're going to release the hands, and you can bring them back down, and you can come back into downward facing dog for a moment. So spread the fingers, maybe come into plank, and then move into down dog. Come back down to the knees. Bring the left foot forward, same thing, okay? Knee on top of the heel. Bring the right knee all the way back, or as far back as you think is okay. Really take a moment to ground into both feet. And then bring the hands onto the knees and lift your torso gently. And again, it's like you're leaning back against a wall, so your shoulders are over your hips here. Okay. And then we'll take the fingers in front of us, 10 fingers touching. Fingertips are kissing. And then as you inhale, open up and squeeze the shoulders and lift the heart. And as you exhale, bring the right arm underneath, taking whatever version works on this side. So not every version is the same. Like not every side is the same. You might need a hug on this side or backs of hands or whatever it may be. So lift the elbows in line with the shoulders. Press the hands forward, bring the chin back. Breathe into the 3 parts, feel your feet. I know there's a lot happening. Just breathe through any discomfort. You shouldn't have any pain, but just breathe through discomfort. Give it a little patience, a little breath. And then slowly release that. Bring the hands down. We're going to come back into plank and then down dog. And then come back down to the knees for table, a table pose. So adjust, spread the fingers, and we'll take a cat-cow. So as you inhale, cow pose, tail to the sky, look forward, draw the sternum forward. As you exhale, cat, chin to chest, tailbone in, belly to the sky. And do that a couple more times. And then slowly, we'll come back to sitting on the mat. We're going to extend the right leg forward and then bend the left knee. So the foot can be on the inner thigh. It could even be on the inner calf. And if you need to put a block under your knee, that's great too. Okay, so there's tons of options. And then you can bring it to the inner thigh, and then still you can use a block if you don't feel that your outside of your thigh and knee are touching down, or if you feel like a lot of tension in this hip flexor, definitely use the block. Okay. Flex that front foot. Notice that the toes are straight, so they're not turning to the side and your hips not rotated. Your hands, we're going to bring the fingertips behind to help lengthen the spine. Okay. Now from here, send your tailbone back a little bit. Push your pubic bone back a little bit. Okay. And you might feel a ton of stretch here already on your right hamstring. So stay here. If you want a little bit more, keep the spine straight and just start to lean forward and bring the fingers closer, to your bum. And then you can stay here. Again, my toes are straight, so my inner thigh is moving down. My heart is bright. My heart wants to go towards my foot. And then if you have more, then you can bring the hands forward and grab onto your foot, your toes, your ankle even, and pull your sternum forward. Okay, so you're not rounding and letting everything go here. This is still an active stretch. So heart pulls forward, pelvis pulls back, tail back. And just breathe. If you also need to bend the right knee a little bit, you can bend the right knee a little bit. And really breathe here into even the lower back. So find length in the lower back. And slowly come back up. And of course, we're going to switch sides. So bend the knee and then straighten it. Shake out the legs if you need to. And then take the right foot and bring it to whatever this side, or whatever area on this side it feels good for your outer hip and your knee. Okay, so inner calf, inner thigh. Notice that the toes are straight. Bring the fingertips behind you to help get really nice and tall and bright. Okay, your inner thigh rolls down. That's when your toes are straight. And then you could stay here, send the tailbone back. And if you feel it, great. You can soften the knee also. And then if this feels okay, start to lean forward and just bring the hands, close to your hips or close to your bum. And then if you want more, you can bring the hands forward. The fingertips can pull you forward, grab onto your foot or your ankle. Remember, the heart pulls forward, the pelvis goes back. So your pelvis, your tailbone is in the past, and your heart is in the future, but your breath is what keeps you present. Slowly you're going to come back up. And you're going to release that. Extend the leg forward, and you could shake out the legs if you want to. And then from here, we're going to lay down onto our backs, okay? So we're going to roll down, lay down onto the back, and then bring the right knee towards your armpit, interlace the hands on top of the knee. Left leg can stay just like this, or you can extend it forward, okay? Really flex, well, don't flex too hard, but flex through the left heel, the left foot, and then pull that knee towards the armpit so it's a little bit to the side, not towards your chest. You can roll your ankle here, your right ankle, and just breathe. Feel the belly expand on the inhale, and let it just deflate on the exhale. If you feel that you're leaning to the right, try and get yourself even, okay? Your shoulder blades should be both touching the ground here. Now from here, you're going to extend the leg up or a little bit forward. You're just going to interlace the hands behind the thigh or behind the knee or wherever feels right for you, okay? If you can bring the foot straight up to the sky and flex that heel or flex the toes towards your nose, that's great. But if you need to have it a little bit more forward, that's fine too. And of course, you can use a strap. So just breathe. The breath keeps bringing you back to presence, okay? It's like the breath's interrupting, interrupting your mind and bringing you back to presence. It's an acceptable interruption, that's for sure. Now slowly bring the knee into the chest, and then bring the foot down. And then we'll switch sides. So left knee into the chest, interlace the hands. You decide on this side if you want to extend the leg or keep it bent. Flex the foot, the right foot, and then left knee towards the armpit. Notice that you're not leaning to one side, so both shoulders are down. And then you can roll the ankle and just breathe here. And then we'll extend the left leg to the sky or a little bit more forward. Interlace the hands behind the knee or the thigh. Grab your strap if you have one. Flex the foot so the heel is trying to go straight up to the sky and the toes are going to touch your nose one day. See if you can feel your breath in the back torso. So you'll breathe into the front body, but you're breathing also into the back body, the back of the torso. So you'll feel your lower back, your back ribs, your shoulders pressing down onto the mat. Slowly we'll bend that knee and we'll put it back down, and now we're going to bend both legs and you're going to bring them close to your bum. Okay, you want your knees on top of your heels, so not too forward and not too close that the knees are in front of the heel of the ankles, okay? So about hips distance apart, you're going to bring the palms to press down if your shoulders are feeling super tight. bend the elbows and have the palms face each other like you're holding a beach ball, okay? This will be a little bit more freeing for the shoulders. And then you're gonna really feel your feet connected down, every part, base of the big toe, little toe, center of the heel, all the edges. And then slowly you're gonna lift your hips up as high as you can, comfortably. Don't squeeze your bum that much. There's a little bit of connection, but it's not like a pancake. Push the shoulders, the outer shoulders down. If you have your hands bent, press into the elbows too. It's gonna help brighten the chest. So the idea here is that you're pushing down and forward lightly with your feet so you can get more of like an upper body and a back bend and openness in the heart, okay? Your heart, your chest is gonna wanna go towards your chin, but your chin does not wanna go towards the chest. It wants to go up to the sky, okay? Soften the face. Make sure that your knees are not opening wide, so you wanna keep them coming in towards the center. Really allow your belly to expand and deflate. And then take one more inhale. Don't rush it. And then very slowly on the exhale, you're going to release and come all the way down. Okay, bottoms of the feet are going to touch. This is called Supta Baddha Konasana. So knees will open. You can put blocks under your knees. You can also push your feet more forward so you have more of a diamond shape in the legs. And you're going to take one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. And you're going to just ride the wave of the breath here. So notice how the belly rises first. And then notice how it deflates last on the exhale. So take a moment here to just check in physically, mentally, emotionally again. Maybe something's changed, maybe something hasn't, and that's okay too. Remember that the breath is nourishing, the breath is speaking to you. So in this really nice open position, could be considered even a vulnerable position, let your breath feel comforting. Release tension in the face and the neck. Continue this 3-part breath. Feel the front wall of the torso, the back wall, even the sides of the torso. So really comfortably feel this deep, full nourishment through your breath. Now, if you want to stay here for longer, please do. But if you need to carry on with the rest of your day or evening, or you'll slowly bring the hands to the thighs and just help close your legs. Okay, and you can bring the knees into the chest a little bit, roll a little bit side to side. Okay, so now turn to the right side. I'm going to turn to my left in case you need to see, but turn to your right side and bring your right arm underneath as a pillow. Okay, bend the knees and then take the left hand and just gently place it into the ground. And just take a moment, notice how you feel here. And then slowly you're going to press yourself up. You're going to come to a comfortable position. However you were at the beginning, or any position you want to. Comfortable position, seated or on your heels. You're going to bring your hands onto your knees or onto your thighs. Find that imaginary wall behind you. Tuck your chin. And then take the left palm into the center of the chest. Spread the fingers. Press the palm. And as you breathe in and out, say something nice to yourself. And take the right hand and press it against the left into the chest. Brighten the chest a little bit more and say something you're grateful for, and breathe that in and out. And then bring the palms together to touch in front of the center of the chest. Anjali Mudra. The thumbs can even touch gently the sternum. So again, kiss the shoulder blades together, brighten the chest. So the gesture, the mudra of gratitude. And then from here, you can bring the thumbs in between the eyebrows and press gently into this third eye space. And you can gently bow forward in gratitude for the practice, for each other, and for ourselves in this space. And coming back up, releasing the hands, opening the eyes. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks. Hope you have a great rest of your, wherever you are, day or night. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much.